Welcome to a Delco Nerd Network Hot Take. Guys, if you haven't seen a hot take before, well, it's where a few friends get in a basement, give our thoughts, give our opinions on a TV show, a movie, or game. Today, it's going to be a movie, and that movie is The Batman. Here to discuss, as always, the triple threat, Chris Trio.
How you doing, Gooch?
I'm good, man.
That's amazing.
How you feeling?
Feeling very vengeance-y, and I'm here to talk about it.
And the man who just chuckled in the middle from the underground, Gian Mantakounis. Welcome back, my friend.
Oh man, Gooch, Trio. Thanks for having me.
Of course, man.
Yes.
Justice.
Yeah, so you're back. We're back.
Where are all the drugs going?
Damn it! You guys have seen the College Humor Batman, right?
I don't think so. No, I haven't seen.
If you ever look up, they do these College Humor Batman sketches. There's one where he's interrogating the Joker, but then there's another one where it's that scene where where are the drugs going? It's him pulling the guy up, and he's just going through all his different Batman voices that he's trying. I don't even want to spoil it. Look it up. It's hilarious.
Right, I'm in.
Guys, we're here to discuss not the College Humor Batman, but the Batman directed by Matt Reeves, starring Robert Pattinson, Zoe Kravitz, Colin Farrell, Jeffrey Wright. I don't know why I'm really
Keep going. You need
to.
I just have the credits
you
up,
got?
and I'm just like, yes, and
Yeah, and.
Yeah.
That's all I can remember off the top of my head. Trio. Me and Gian saw it together. We kind of know what each other thinks, but we don't know what you thought of the Batman. Why don't you start us off?
Yeah, man. So, I mean, I was lucky enough to go to one of those earlier screenings on Tuesday, so I had a bit of time to digest. Scooch was bitching at me the whole time. He was like, "You're not gonna see it with the boys."
Dude, there were so many of us.
Well, Gooch, I was like, Gooch, there's early showings. We can go. And you're like, no, it's 2 days. And I'm like, I'm seeing it 2 days early. So I bought 2 tickets. I saw it. And guys, this movie has gone through a lot of iterations. Obviously, me and Gooch have followed this. It was a Batfleck movie. It was going to be part of the DCEU. It's been 5 years in the making. And I got to say, it's been worth the wait. Absolutely. Like, I genuinely think this distills down to one movie everything that makes Batman so special. I think there are certain elements that they take liberties with that I believe make sense. I love Robert Pattinson's Batman. I love Zoe Kravitz's Catwoman. Colin Farrell is the Penguin. Come on! It's so...
What's the matter, you Batman?
What are you doing, Batman? I'm no rat. What's going on?
I'm no rat with wings.
What do you mean? You don't know Elven law? I know Spanish, but I couldn't believe that.
What the fuck?
That was actually
Again, it was so good.
I was just like, wait, what?
It was so good. But I mean, overall, I just think Matt Reeves hit it out of the park. It was excellently casted, excellently executed. I couldn't ask for more in a Batman movie, and I fucking can't wait to see another one. But guys, what do you think?
Gian.
Oh my god, I loved this movie. I thought this movie was awesome. I came in, I was telling you, Trio, I had high expectations. I had moderate to high expectations. Nothing crazy. I don't like to be super disappointed. It happens a lot with some of these movies. Oh my god. They murdered this one. This was so good. This was an early baby, fresh Batman. That's one point I'm driving home to you viewers. We're Pattinson boys. I'm a Patty boy now. I support Robert Pattinson as Batman. Colin Farrell
We're
was
trademarking
okay.
Patty boys.
Yes, Patty boys.
Yeah.
We're the Patty boys. We got his
We're
back.
the Patty boys.
Give yourself a pat on the back. Patty boys all
Patty
around.
boys.
Second favorite Penguin ever, I think, easily.
It's tough to beat Danny
It's
DeVito.
impossible to beat Danny
I mean,
DeVito.
what's his face from Gotham's pretty good.
He was great actor.
I forget his name.
Yeah.
But I think he does Penguin pretty well.
Sure.
Pete Wentz hair, I know. But
Yeah.
I like the Robert Pattinson and Pete Wentz there in this. This was amazing. This was for everybody. This was one for the emo kids. This was for My Chemical Romance. I loved this movie. I was blown away.
I was too.
Great intro. Great Batman intro. Great first Batman movie.
And I can do nothing but echo what these two have said. This movie's great. It's now everyone's who's a fan of DNN knows Gooch. We know you love Batman v Superman. You would stan Ben Affleck as Batman. You know, where's the ranking? And I would say it's hard to even compare these two films, but like what I like about this film the most, the DNA of Batfleck, like Batfleck is still in this movie because wait for it. Don't interrupt me.
Has to link back to Batman. Continue. Yeah.
The number one Batman.
This feels like how Ben Affleck's Batman would have been in year 2. It's a similar
For sure,
vibe.
I would agree.
And that's just something I was like, I appreciate that. While it is a very different movie, it's still like the DNA, that formula of what they first started with.
Sure.
Whatever the script was, seems to still be intact to some degree, which as a BVS fan, I appreciate it. But Pattinson stands on his own, does a very different Batman. A year 2, year 0, Long Halloween, Court of Owls, like amalgam story. And it works out. We finally see Batman as a 100% detective.
Woo!
You know, we got a little bit of it in BVS, but obviously the film is not about Batman.
It's not a Batman movie, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a Batman movie. It's not about him solving a crime.
Sure.
This movie is about Batman solving a crime, not fighting a crime, solving it.
Absolutely.
Alongside the GCPD. And Jim Gordon, who Jeffrey Wright plays a very casual, loose Jim Gordon. Very interesting. I don't know how you guys felt about Jeffrey Wright.
Well, it was funny. I was talking to Gian before we started, and I was like, I love the idea of, first off, a Gotham that's just so, like Dark Knight
Animated
Gotham,
series.
for sure. Like
Yeah.
Dark Knight Gotham seemed shitty for sure. I wouldn't want to live there, but this seems like
Worse.
way worse.
Yeah.
And I like the idea of a Jim Gordon that's like, dude, nothing's working. Everything sucks. This guy in a bat suit has been running around for 2 years, and he's been doing some all right stuff. I'm bringing him in on this. This is really important, and I need this. And I like the idea of a Gotham so shitty that like no one's even paying it. They know Batman's out there, but the police can't put any money towards finding out that guy. They have so much other shit going on in the city that there's no point in trying to find this guy that's stopping crime. But yeah, no, I love Jeffrey Wright. I really did.
I thought he was awesome. And is he the same guy from the Robot TV show on
Yeah,
HBO?
Westworld.
It's the same
Yeah,
guy,
Westworld, yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I knew I recognized
Jeffrey Wright,
him
I
from
think, has been around the corner and back since Westworld.
He was in The Last Bond too.
Yes, he's Felix Leiter.
he's Felix Leiter, exactly, yeah.
He's Felix Leiter in all the
Yeah.
Bond movies.
Yeah.
I really
Well,
liked
Daniel Craig's.
I really liked the intro of Batman because I love a monologue. I love a monologue. A lot of people gave dark monologue hate.
Very Watchmen-esque, very Rorschach.
Yes.
Well, it's very
writing,
noir,
genre.
old style. Yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, I was gonna say gloating, but that's not the word. Brooding,
Brooding.
like it's like a manifesto almost. You
Well,
know,
that
It's
was I like
very
the
deep.
idea of him, like his nights blending
Writing.
together, and he's taking this journal down every
Yes.
night of what's happening. And he wrote, what was it, the Gotham Project or something on
Yes,
the front?
I love that.
I love the idea of he's really approaching it from a scientific method. But did you guys see
like a problem solver.
Exactly,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
literally. So I
love
was
that.
Learning.
I
He
Dude, he is.
knew. I love that.
one
dude.
thing I would have loved to know more. I mean, you can only do so much without just giving verbal like storytelling. But there was a prequel book that was released before this that kind of talks about.
Really?
Yeah, I saw a YouTube video on it. Someone was talking about it, and it was
have to check
basically
that
talking about Bruce's origin and how like when he was younger. And Alfred even mentions this at one point. Alfred taught him to fight to kind of keep his mind off things. When he got to college, he couldn't decide what he wanted to major in, so he kept globe-trotting around to different colleges and majoring in different
that's
things.
awesome.
And like learning basically everything he can. And while he was in each different country, he was learning their martial arts while he was there.
But no Ra's al Ghul.
But no Ra's al Ghul. So and
Which
As far
would
as we
seem
know,
obvious.
as far
no,
as
which
we know
no,
so far.
I think at least so far.
There's no way he trained with Ra's al Ghul.
No, that's what. But I
yet.
mean, at least
Not
so
yet.
far, I don't think like I
is
think they
fine.
could. Yeah, I think they could introduce him down the line.
He's still
for sure.
young. He's still a young
But
guy.
Yeah,
no, I
very,
thought that
very
was a
young.
very interesting idea of his origin. And guess what? I don't mind that we didn't see it. I like that we just got thrust into
Yeah,
this.
you know I wanted to see it.
I know
There were
you-
so many times I was like, wait for it, wait for it, wait for it. Here they go. No!
Genuinely, when I was messaging you guys on DNN after, and I was like, and we were having a conversation about his parents being murdered, and I was like, oh, they didn't show it. Oh my god, they didn't show his parents dying. And again, I think it works very well. You see where Bruce is at this point in his life. He's in the work. All there is Batman. That's all he cares about. If he dies doing it, mission accomplished.
Yeah,
I don't care.
It seems like Wayne Enterprise is just like he's clearly like I guess CEO. They
I don't think he's
They don't really name him. He's clearly has some involvement to a point where it's important enough for him to show up
Right.
and
Absolutely.
make decisions, and
or at
he's
least have
neglecting
someone
that.
come over to have him sign legal documents.
Yeah,
Right.
like
Yeah.
Alfred is acting.
So
CEO.
me and Gian were talking about this. Do they live in Wayne Tower?
Yes.
Or-
So that's another thing that's talked about in the book. The orphanage.
You're right. Was it you saying that?
Yeah,
I
the
know
or-
all of us were saying. I
So,
thought we were all saying that.
I don't
Oh,
wanna
I was
see-
like, it just seems like his office was like a gothic
Yeah.
looking.
So
office.
it's Wayne
ancient.
Tower. He lives in the penthouse of Wayne Tower. His parents gave away Wayne Manor to the orphanage.
Okay.
And then that became the orphanage.
Which is where the Riddler grows up.
Well, Gooch. Spoilers, man. We didn't give spoiler warning or anything.
It's all right. That's okay.
It's all right. It's all right.
Spoiler.
It could have been worse.
No,
He's
that's
in
true.
the movie.
Well, that's the only spoiler. We'll keep it spoiler free for now, though. Still, I think we can. But what were you saying? Oh yeah, so
The manor.
yeah, the manor. The idea with the Batcave is that there's this old train tunnel that used to run directly from Wayne Manor to Wayne Tower that he now uses as his Batcave, and he became like obsessed with it when he was younger, and he basically went down there and started tinkering with stuff like this. And another thing I love about this Batman, he made everything himself.
Yeah.
He's like this kind of machine garage head guy who put together this fucking Batmobile in his garage. It's great. I mean, what did you guys think about like the Batsuit and just his whole aesthetic?
Favorite Batcave easily. I loved the
It's got
poor
a lot of
man's
character.
Batcave. Yes,
I
it's
agree.
got a
That's
ton
what
of
I mean.
It's
Yeah.
got a kind of character. I think, you know, I'm trying to think. The Chris Nolan Batcave is not really a Batcave. It's a big fucking room.
No, it's literal. It's just a Batcave. That's.
But I mean,
like-
it's a big white room.
Well, that's the first one. He has an actual Batcave in Batman Begins. Remember?
Oh, right.
And it's just basically a big cave with a computer in it.
Right.
But then in the other
And
one,
then
he's in that white space.
In Batman v Superman, Justice League, like it's definitely like fine-tuned Batcave.
Well, that's not, and
And
that's
not
not
like-
at Wayne Manor either.
It's at his house.
Yeah,
It's
it's
his
at like
high-end
his.
Batcave. It's an adult man's Batcave. This is a, hey, I got
I'm 50 years old and I can afford it.
Yes, exactly. I've really got it down. This is just like, I fucking want to beat up everybody in this city that's violating any of my crimes. I'm going to stop
I'm
everything.
going to stab them and brand them
yes.
with my bat brand of justice.
He's,
Sorry, I was making a face. I could tell by the way you all stopped. And
No, it
looked
was
at me.
okay. I didn't know if you
no.
were about to
No,
say
I
something.
thought you were
That's
about
the
to
reason
jump
I stopped.
in.
I was about to jump in. The suit. You brought that up with the Batcave, and I said this to Gian, so I want to get your take on it. Do you love how it made noise?
Yes, I also love his. Sorry, I apologize.
He hasn't mastered the suit making yet. It's got a lot of utility to it. It's heavy. You can hear every footstep. He walks in. It's not like he just appears and the cape goes. Like you hear every step.
This
And I'm
feels like
this
his
is
first
cool.
successful Batsuit.
Right.
Right, like his first like one that really works. He gets shot a lot.
he gets armored
Oh,
up.
dude.
Yeah.
But and I think
Like,
the
not
idea.
not to jump to the end, but the end where he gets shot point blank with a sawed off or a double barrel. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
No, again-
you would be so out.
No, I know, but I'm willing to
We're
let that go.
lungs.
I mean,
Your chest
Ben
would
Affleck
be
got
so
shot in the
hurt.
head and immediately was. I know, and it wouldn't kill him, but
Yeah.
like your bell would be so wrong.
You would be
if
knocked
you got
out.
shot in the head, even if you had whatever. Anyways, I kind of like that idea because I think he does that on purpose to literally add to his mythical kind of presence of like, you can't kill this guy.
Yeah.
And I guess obviously like they can see that he's wearing armor, but still like. I thought his introduction scene was great when he's coming out and you
Yeah,
hears
what we've seen
his
in the
stomps and
trailers.
everything. It's really good.
Do you know the kid who runs away? Do you know who that is?
He plays Robin in what's it called,
Titans,
right? Yeah,
yeah.
he got.
Get outta
It was
here,
funny
really?
because I was when I saw that I was like, they
Drake
could
Robin
totally
in
set that
Wow,
up
I
for a
know that.
Robin thing, but since he's playing Robin in that he's not going to play Robin
Yeah,
in the
that's
movie.
who that actor is.
Yeah, he got
Fun
cast after this
cameo.
was. Yeah,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
because this was
this
before,
film like 3 or 4 years ago.
yeah, especially those beginning scenes because
Yeah.
that was in the first trailer we
Yeah.
saw. So that must have been one of the first things they shot.
But getting back to his suit, like just his whole silhouette when he walks into his room in the room. I love the collar. I didn't realize. I don't know how I
yeah.
didn't see it earlier. It's totally the Batman Noel suit. If you go back and look at that,
yeah.
I really except for the collar, like with the ribs on the inner, like the really sharp, like bat symbol
Yeah.
and like the kind of flared out cape. I love it a lot, and you see a bit of a Long Halloween in it too for sure. But I think it's practical to the degree that it needs to be, but it also it's great.
It was awesome. I loved his boots. He's wearing regular fucking boots.
Yeah,
Like
he's
combat
wearing
boots.
combat
Yeah.
boots. Every time when he came in, because it was like, it's like he's new. It's like he's new. It takes a little while to get acclimated to a job, and he's just like, okay,
Yeah.
punch him as many times as
I
I
look
can.
scary. Looks scary.
Look scary.
No,
Look
yeah.
scary. Are you guys gonna make the first move? It seemed unsure. He seemed.
It seemed a
unsure
little, but
at the beginning.
I do think it was sure enough to be like, I love the whole setup too of that scene where he's going through, he's like 2 nights. I'm on the streets now. Like he goes through the whole monologue of instilling fear, and that guy steals from the store, and then he looks at the dark alley, pitch black, and then he looks up at the bat signal. He's like, nah, fuck this. I'm going I'm staying in the light.
He's
Fuck
a
it.
symbol.
I do love that idea. Like I think that did a good job of setting this idea up that he has been doing this for 2 years. He's successful to a degree, absolutely. He's not the full-on Batman that we know, but he is becoming this symbol that he is looking for.
The idea of it, yeah, like I mean, there's a monologue at the end where he talks about like now that people see me as something more, and like that, you know, he's becoming the symbol. There's this theme of death in the film, and I think that is kind of really displayed through Ave Maria being played 4 times.
Oh my God!
For those who don't know
that song to death,
the lore behind that song, it's a funeral song.
Yeah,
it's only played at funerals. I like that.
It's
song,
a Hitman Blood Money song.
See, for me,
that's
it's
where
like,
it came from.
I think I heard it. Well, I didn't. Play
No,
it
I definitely probably heard it before that too.
Yeah,
That's where I definitely remember it from.
Like when I hear it at funerals, like I like it.
No,
I
it's a
think
beautiful
very
song.
pretty
It's a beautiful song.
It's about
Yeah.
death.
Yeah.
You know, the death of Gotham, the death of Bruce Wayne. Like there's a lot of death.
Yeah.
The theme of death is just constantly portrayed. And I think that song is sort of like the, you know, the symbolism, the imagery, or the songification of death.
Absolutely. And you see even Bruce in the way of the whole point of this movie is like, I get Batman's never over his parents' death.
Yeah.
But he still hasn't even dealt with it in the real Batman way yet. Like you're saying, he's growing into. Right now, he just thinks he needs to be vengeance. He thinks he just needs to be fear. And I like seeing this.
He's being held down, like you said, the death of his parents.
His parents, and still. But like, I loved his interactions with Alfred. What'd you guys think about Alfred? I know we didn't spend too much time with him, but I loved every scene he was in.
I liked Alfred.
Andy Serkis for forever. Venom 2, he messed up. So,
but you know he didn't. You know he didn't do that, right?
He did it.
He did that.
He's gonna take the fall for it.
Yeah, fair enough. But
he's got literally 3 scenes.
Yeah, I mean the hospital.
I think
scene,
maybe 5 actually.
It was important though. The hospital scene was important.
Yeah, they were like, I think, but like other than that, I think of his appearances were like, it seemed like I literally said it last night. Ben Affleck and Jeremy Irons, his characters, they have a relationship and a respect for each other. They're like, look how Alfred is involved in BVS in his Batman affairs, and I think with this, they're not really on the same level. Bruce is like over here, and Alfred's like over here, and Alfred's trying to get over there, and Bruce is just trying to do his own thing, and he doesn't really care about Alfred as like, he respects him. Don't get me wrong, he raised him, obviously, but like I don't think he cares for Alfred like he normally does in the comics in the other iterations we've seen. You know, because he's a kid.
Yeah, that's what it's because he's young. He doesn't get it yet because every iteration of Batman we've seen.
Actually, how old is he supposed to be in the movie?
It's a good question. I would
assume 30s, early 30s.
I would say 20s.
I was going to say
that's never whenever they start in the comics, it's always 30s.
Really?
That's when they usually do, anyways. But I don't know. I could be wrong.
Solid 27.
And he looks small too. That's something he looks
thin.
Well, like fit, but like he was so tall. Like I feel like he lumbers over. I didn't think he even looked that skinny.
See, I think somebody when we were talking yesterday said that, and I'm like, you know what? Like, is he tall? Is Robert Pattinson tall?
It's like 6'3", I think.
He
really?
Or they
Pretty
made
confident.
him look tall. Every cop that walked up to him was like, "Listen, buddy, like he was a giant man."
They probably added more onto him, but I do think
the boots.
All right, he's 6'1".
Okay,
so he's tall.
He's average.
So he's
averagely tall.
That's not averagely tall. That's tall. That's just
tall,
tall.
man.
Average is like 5'8", 5'10".
And then you put those boots on him, it adds probably another 2 inches. He's
exactly.
Huge. He's
So and I did like that idea of everyone look like. Honestly, I didn't think he looked that scrawny. I think he looked, especially in those back scenes when he's approaching people, he looked big and like he could fuck you up. I don't know.
There was a scene where he was pushing something with his shirt off. I was like, oh, he looks like a thin guy.
You know what's funny? I tweeted. I was like, I feel like this is the much more realistic physique that you saw in like the Kilmer era and stuff like that.
That
was the 90s.
Yeah, but that was like, that's healthy guy.
Yeah.
That is a healthy guy who's trying to stay fit, who isn't trying to bulk up
to
this insane end. And even Matt Reeves and I think Robert Pattinson talked about how they want their Batman is supposed to be more agile.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I
think a big bulky Batman works. I do.
Right, but for his age, no.
I don't think it works as well.
Give him 5 to 10 years of being Batman.
Right,
He will get gigantic.
The Ben Affleck is like I'm an veteran Batman. I'm fucking huge.
He's been doing it for 30 years.
I'm a unit.
Batfleck is 50 in the movie. Is that what he's supposed to be in his 50s?
Only thing I never liked with Batfleck was one of the things I don't like, but I still love Batfleck, was that I felt like he was the guy that could do anything. He's drinking, he's getting all the ladies, and then he's somehow fighting people every night.
Yeah.
And like, I don't, because Batman doesn't drink and all that stuff. He does like.
You're segueing into a great point. In Batman v Superman, he's mastered the Bruce Wayne persona. There is no Bruce Wayne persona.
No, I know, but he's
movie.
still getting wasted, and like even like I mean, you see him drinking. He's like chugging like a whiskey bottle that morning when he wakes up.
You're missing the.
Is he switching it out with juice?
That's just for me. That doesn't work.
You're missing.
Don't tell me I'm missing the point. That's not. I don't want to. That's the point that I'm.
What I just said.
All right.
Well, I was segueing into the Bruce Wayne.
Sure.
There is no Bruce Wayne in this movie.
He hasn't gotten his mask.
It's just
yet.
Batman and not
like
Batman.
we said. Yeah. No, it's not even not Batman. It's just he's just Bruce. Yeah, he's just Batman right now. Really, that's all he cares about. That's all he sees.
There's no persona. He's not going out and like faking something to like.
And again, I like the idea of this Gotham City that's not even like it's just got so much other bullshit going on. We don't care. Like Bruce Wayne, when we see him out, it's like, oh, it's cool. We're not thinking about what he's doing at night.
Yeah.
I am getting shot at every time I go into a bus station.
It seems like everyone is kind of concerned about him because when they see him out, they're like, oh, look,
oh, recluse. No,
Bruce
like,
Wayne.
well, I think it's a big deal when you see him. Yeah,
Like he's a recluse. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, Mr. Wayne, that cop.
Falcone says something to him.
Yeah, they all seem to
Mayor
make a point of
Real
that.
says
Yeah.
something to him. Like, there's a few people who say like, oh, like where the fuck have you been?
Yeah.
No, and I like that idea of they have that thought, but there's still so much other shit going on that they're not connecting.
Yeah.
That he is doing.
Oh,
it. Like,
no.
They're like, no way, this guy, Batman. There was. We'll get to it when we talk about Riddler. But before we move on, how would you guys think of Selena? Catwoman.
I thought Catwoman was great. This might have been the best example of Selena Kyle that I've seen in the movie so far.
I would agree.
There hasn't been she hasn't gotten great shots, really. She had that standalone film with Halle Berry.
You mean the greatest film ever made?
Catwoman.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the cinematic
Some
master.
would say. The
Most would
cinematic
say.
masterpiece, Catwoman. She looked great in that movie.
Of course.
Nothing against Halle Berry, but I thought Zoe Kravitz was a great Catwoman.
Dude, she was amazing. Yeah.
Much better than Anne Hathaway. I have a lot of criticism of Anne Hathaway because I feel like Anne Hathaway's there, but like she's not. She doesn't feel like.
I don't know what movie people are watching with Anne Hathaway as Cat. She is so Selena Kyle, and the way she talks, the cat suit. That's the only practical like. I hate how Nolan and everything, he needs a real reason for something. Bane has pain medicine going into his face. So, but like Catwoman with her, I actually really liked that her goggles were her ears. It worked so well. I don't know. I personally loved Anne
for some
Hathaway
reason, like I feel like the groundedness of Nolan's trilogy kind of like
negates
sucks.
it.
I just spit. Sucks. Yeah, the comic book out of some of those characters, like
I
Bane,
completely agree.
like
100%.
Catwoman.
Makes them realistic.
And in this, I feel like she's in the leather boots. She's wearing, she's in the like dominatrix looking outfit.
Yeah.
She's got like obviously like first time as Catwoman, like the hat as
Loved
the
it.
thing.
So perfect.
And
Love that hat,
that's
honestly.
practical.
Yeah.
No, exactly. It's so perfect. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
exactly. And I actually,
And
Selena
she has cats.
I felt like, of course.
Yeah.
I love that
Michelle
line.
Pfeiffer.
I love that scene of like, got a lot of cats. I like strays.
And
I'm
her
like,
nails.
Fuck! God, no, I'm kidding.
Awesome.
nails.
She had long
So good.
nails.
No.
And
yeah.
do you
Well,
see
did
when
you
she
see-
put the gloves
She
on?
poked through him. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Awesome.
dude, I really thought she was fantastic. As soon as she was cast, I thought it was a great choice.
I thought she made some good kicks in there too. I thought
Dude,
her combat
she was
style,
great.
I was like, that's real fun Catwoman.
And even
style
getting back
fighting.
to her suit, I found it to be an almost. If you took Michelle Pfeiffer's suit and like made it today and made it more streamlined and made it like actually look like someone put it together for real. I don't know. It kind of looked a bit sewn together, but still more clean than that. I don't know how to describe it if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But dude, she was great. And there's a twist with her that we can talk about more towards the end.
I
but
was just gonna bring that
yeah,
up.
don't bring that up. Okay.
Yeah.
Don't. We'll talk
Shut
about.
the fuck up.
We'll talk about Riddler too, but then we'll give you full spoiler warning when we're gonna go into full
Trio's in
spoiler.
control of the spoilers.
Okay,
Like,
okay.
Yeah, because I feel like there's a good amount that we can talk about here without really spoiling anything.
Right.
But so yeah, Selena, Jesus, she was great. And then Falcone, I thought he was actually it was Falcone.
So I always have this issue. Is it Falcone and Maroni or Falcone and Maroni?
Falcone, I think it's Falcone in the comics.
It's Falcone and Maroni.
I think it is
Because
I
I've
think they
always questioned
changed
that.
it.
I'm like, why
I
do
don't know
why
why
do
they
they
changed it.
sound so similar?
I don't know why it's.
They sound silly because I guess they're older.
It's not that they sound silly, but
No, they
like,
just
why
sound
would
old
you
Italian
make
mom names.
Falcone and
two-
Maroni. It sounds like pasta, man.
Well, yes.
That actually probably is exactly why they changed it. Because they
'Cause
didn't
it
want
sounded
Falcone and
goofy.
Maroni. I genuinely think they was like,
Because
just
it
do
usually
Falcone.
is.
Yeah,
And I
because
was
they
just
just did
like,
Falcone.
and I question myself. I'm like, is it
Falcone or Falcone?
Yeah.
Because if you go back and watch Batman Begins, I'm incredibly confident
It's Carmine
Falcone.
Falcone.
Yeah.
And Salvatore Maroni.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I don't think Maroni even shows up in Batman Begins, if I remember correctly.
No, but he's the other.
Yeah, he's the other kind of crime boss.
Right.
But no, I thought he was very
What's that
kind
actor's name?
of John Turturro.
He's awesome.
He's great.
This was I think like you've seen him. He's in a lot of movies. He's kind of a character.
He's in Transformers.
Actor.
Yeah,
he's in Transformers. And I'm like, when I saw him, I don't think I remembered that he was Carmine Falcone. And I was like, oh yeah.
He plays that like old school mobster
really
very well.
Yeah, I'm Italian. I get it.
Touching Selena Kyle's face, I was like, "Ooh,
No, it's
oh
just
my
a
God.
weird, just a creeper.
Good to see you.
Good to
kid.
see you.
Love the fuck later."
What'd you think about Falcone, Gian?
I thought he was intimidating as fuck. He was so like. He's a bad guy, obviously, but he was so cool, right?
He was.
Like, I was like, ooh, like I can see like why
Very,
people
like I said,
work
Godfather
with
vibes.
you.
Yeah.
And I like how Penguin, being his right hand man, I like how they
Good
didn't
segue. Sorry.
play into the Penguin physical traits of Penguin.
Oh.
You
I
know?
feel like they did in a different
always,
way.
He's always small.
Yeah.
He's always, he's rotund, and he's rotund in this, which is
No,
fine.
he's got a bit of a pecker
rotund.
for
yeah,
sure.
and he's scarred,
Yeah.
which is fine. But like, I never when they were together, they almost looked like equals.
Yeah.
And like,
No, for sure.
Penguin
Yeah.
in Gotham, the show is portrayed like
Bit of a dweeb.
I'm the gimp. I'm the bitch boy. Like, and it gets old.
No,
And
agree.
in returns, he's the stereotypical Penguin. And this is like, I can buy it. I can really buy that this guy would be a real person.
because I could see him in an old mob movie like, hey, did you get Jimmy the Penguin to take care of that thing? And he's like, yeah, man.
Hey, yo,
Jimmy the
Hey,
Box,
you're back,
what's
man.
going on?
Get him up here. Out over here. Yeah, I like that he wasn't eating fucking fish and shit.
He wasn't just a weird animal
he
penguin
had
man.
a normal drink.
He had a normal, yeah, he was a normal. He was good. I thought he was a good bad guy too. I thought,
Dude, he
Yeah.
was a big standout for me.
So I liked when two things. When he was getting interrogated after the car chase scene that's in the trailers, there's a little interrogation. He's wearing heels. One.
I saw that. I noticed that. Big platforms.
Yeah.
Big platforms.
But I
yeah.
think that was for the character. Because that would...
or Colin Farrell. Is,
No, they do that all the time in movies to just make people look taller.
Do you think?
No, I think that was
Pattinson's
absolute.
so
And listen, I
tall.
think you could explain
because,
it like that.
Because like if the Penguin was wearing those shoes, I'd buy him.
No, I think you could explain it away like that, absolutely. But they do that. Have you ever watched Iron Man 2 with Robert Downey Jr.?
brought this up.
That's right, we
We
talked
brought
with
this
his
up.
big cloppy platform.
And dude,
shoes.
he's a gimp. He couldn't wear those shoes.
And,
He'd be like, whoa.
and when he's
slipping and
in his
sliding.
handcuffs, he walks.
That was a fun. Yeah, that was a.
Yeah, like a
By the
penguin.
way, comedy in this done not
So subtly,
so
right?
subtly and
Yeah.
so well. I
Oh,
think
dude, our theater
chuckled
giggling.
genuinely.
chuckles.
Yeah,
a lot
no,
of them.
absolutely.
And like this is where I think you look and like the critique of Marvel. Like, look how the Batman does it. There's a way to do comedy
to comedic
tastefully.
moments. Yeah,
And
well,
not just quip every 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Well,
and the whole theater's
I agree.
laughing. The
Yeah,
whole
yeah.
like
no, that makes sense.
Not Disneyfied by
Right.
8,000 writers.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, it's
And that's
funny
all I'll
going
say.
back. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And just a quick sidebar on that. It is funny. I watched Iron Man 1 like a month ago, and I really feel like that quippy vibe seriously got its like gestation there. Like because everything in that movie is kind of that was all improvised, was all quips, all that stuff. But still, no, Batman. I think I'm trying to think of specific moments, but like you're saying, Gooch, genuine chuckles out
real
of people.
quick. Are you about
Yeah.
to move on from the Penguin?
I was, but
I
continue.
have one
yeah.
more thing. Chris Connor in twitch.tv/Delco Network, where you can chat live when we do these podcasts. He says the Cobblepot family history seems to be missing. He's got a point.
No, that's true, but I feel like-
didn't even really talk about the Penguin in a background capacity.
And I wonder if
'Cause
he
we
means in a
usually
way
do-
of like because sometimes in the comics, I don't think it's all the time, but Bruce, like the Cobblepots and the Waynes, have kind of history of some kind.
That's shown in the Telltale
If you want
game.
a really cool rendition of the Penguin, and I think one that's done very well is the Batman Telltale series.
Yeah, I was like,
Absolutely.
Telltale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
did you say? Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I just said that.
No,
Is
yeah,
that a
like
game?
it's you know the Telltale games, right?
I
They're
know
more
Telltale-
epic.
I
They
know
did
the
a
Walking
Batman
Dead game they did.
The first season, second season's okay, but the first season, Penguin's a big part. Right? He's in the first season. I
I
thought.
think he's in the second.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, either way, they
The
do
first
him in a
season is this movie
Oh, really?
where he finds out the Waynes are dirty.
yeah,
That's
somewhat.
exactly what the
But there are a
first
lot
season
more.
is.
And thanks for Gooch. Spoilers, man.
Oh yes, post spoilers.
Anyways, let's just say at this point we're gonna move into some spoilers.
This is like the 4th time Trio's got me. I've never been this egregious about it.
No, it's really,
I'm just talking.
This is an
well,
exciting
because again,
movie.
that's why I do sometimes like just telling us to go right into spoilers because
Yeah.
the slip of the tongue is tough. We'll go back into spoilers so we can talk, so we can talk about the Riddler a little bit. But just
is that
quick
where you wanted to go?
That's
Is
where I
that-
was gonna go next. But just quick non-spoiler. What did you think of just his portrayal? As much as you can say without
Riddler?
without saying
Paul Dano deserves an Oscar.
he's great. I love him too. I think he was genuinely.
This is
amazing.
award-winning performance.
I think
He
it's
was good.
definitely type for him. He kind of always plays a bit of a like.
Yeah, like
dweeb-
in Prisoners.
not dwe- yeah,
Have
like-
you- yeah.
But what'd you think, Jim?
I loved him. I thought he was fantastic. I thought he did Psycho so good. He was unwell. He was mentally.
There was one
unhinged.
specific scene
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk about, but
Okay.
I think he.
I was about to like.
where he's like,
this one.
He's so he
That one?
yeah.
That was
Like,
great.
he's so he really does play this like just psychopath very well, and I like the approach that they went at this of an almost Seven slash Zodiac style of killer that's just doing these insane things and these elaborate kills. That first scene, the first scene of the movie,
Terrifying.
is so
I
good.
immediately
And
go to Penn's and I go, it's Bruce Wayne playing Zorro. He's Wayne murders. First thing I
that's
said.
what I thought.
Yeah.
Great twist. One
yeah.
of 2 great twists for me this whole
Yeah.
movie.
I mean,
but
it was just like not a twist. What's the word?
I know
Yeah. There's
where you think it's going to be something
right.
else,
Yeah.
but I know what you mean. I can't.
Gian?
A switcheroo.
That's it. It's a switcheroo.
It's
They
a
did a good old
switcheroo.
switcheroo on
Yeah.
us.
Right.
But
that was,
no, that was a
wasn't
great.
what I was thinking of, but that's pretty
I
much
think there is, I think, a word for what you're saying though. But so great. Anyways, guys, we're getting into spoilers again now.
Sorry.
Full on spoilers.
Fine.
It's not a big deal.
They're here for the
Yeah, they're here.
spoilers. You guys have seen the movie.
If you
know.
haven't, what do you get out there right now?
Yeah.
But
Right,
we're
exactly.
gonna get into some spoilers. Thank you so much if you've been watching so far. But guys,
Like, subscribe, comment.
like, subscribe, comment, come back after you've seen the movie. And yeah, so the Riddler. That scene where he's being where he goes in to see Batman, like you were saying, and just like
At the end.
no, when he sees him before the bombs go off, and he's like, and he thinks that whole twist of he thinks
Well,
he
yeah,
thinks he
at the
knows
end.
he's no, that's like it's sort of towards it,
the-
not the very end. That's like
80% of the way.
that's like 80. I get
85%
you're right. Sure, the end, close to the
of
end.
the movie.
Yeah.
And by the way, I love that he doesn't completely succeed. I love that the Riddler gets away with something. Like he actually has that.
Dude, the flooding of Gotham was like, whoa.
Whoa,
Didn't
no,
expect that at all.
Yeah.
that was great. But that whole scene of him kind of, they let that tension sit of you. Like I thought he knew he was Bruce.
Same.
I thought I was like, oh,
wait. He doesn't?
no.
He was
Did you not get
talking
that?
So
I must have missed. Dude, I was
'Cause
so,
by the- so
that
he's like-
scene was a lot, and I
Yeah.
was like really paying attention to it.
Well,
and that must
because he like the last
he's
part,
so
he goes
mad.
Bruce. Wayne,
Oh, he was
we
looking-
almost got him,
Yeah.
and then that's when he kind of has like an epiphany moment. He's like,
yeah.
Oh,
so
yeah, it
dude, so
was
he
like,
just
yes.
blew Gooch's mind again.
Right.
So yeah,
Oh
he's
my
and then he was
God.
like, so,
I
sick was
thought
it?
he was okay. I thought he was telling him who he was, and he just wasn't reacting. Obviously,
no. So he was. That was because that when he talks to Jim before he leaves to go see him at the asylum, he's like, I think it's over. He's like, what's over? He's like, this Batman thing. You were. By the way, that was a great moment. He's like, you're a good cop, Jim. Like you're like he just kind of gave him because he thought it was
Only
over.
good cop, yeah.
But no, just that whole scene of him, just the Riddler, just like being like, yeah, we're together, man. And I like this idea of
I like that. He
Batman
thought-
inspiring something that he didn't mean, not necessarily inspiring the thing he meant to inspire.
Yeah, and he wasn't leaving them clues. He was basically having
Asking
Batman help him.
And he didn't even, and he didn't realize.
And I love how his riddles went from like really complicated things to really slapstick thumb drive.
Yeah.
You know,
That
like
again, a
awesome.
chuckle that was kind of fun. Like, oh, that
right,
was
like very
This guy's
simple to
hilarious.
and
Like,
then
that was great.
And then we get to the carpet tool.
I knew that was going to come into play when the moment they're inspecting it and it lays on the ground, it leaves that impression, and he like vaguely looks at it. And I'm not a carpenter. I don't know those tools.
sure,
Right,
I would
know
never
what it
know
was. It looks like a chisel or
Yeah.
something.
No,
like
it literally looks like it's to like get under carpet or something.
Yeah.
And
a
that's what
tucker.
it was
That's
for.
Yeah,
exactly-
tucker, yeah,
the
it's a
guy- the
tucker.
cop's like it's a It's a Tucker.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne's a rich guy. He's a millionaire. He's like, I don't know
What
carpets.
is, yeah, like this. I've studied microbiology. I don't know fucking carpets. By the way,
carpentry.
the one scene that sets him up so well, just for like, I love the first scene he's introduced when he comes in to view the body and he like sees the cut and he's like, that was cut off while he was alive. And then he gives this whole thing of like why he knows, like, Detective Batman. I love it.
He knows stuff.
Oh,
That
it's
was
so good.
great, Detective Batman. I like that. Also, he was like wrong sometimes. I like
but
a
that's-
little bit of like because I read a review online. You guys know I told everybody I read 1-star reviews. I get so miffed. Because this was 5-star movie in my opinion.
Yeah,
And
easy.
there were people hating real hard, and they were like, one of the reviews I read was like, oh, some detective, like he couldn't even get the link. No, you know how many unsolved fucking mysteries are out there?
He
buddy?
got 80% of it. Sure, he missed the bombs,
And like
but
sometimes with the riddles it was instant, and other times it was like,
Rat with Wings. There were 6 different.
By the
people
way,
with rat
I
names.
was going back
Penguin,
to
Falcon, and I turned to pens at one
Batman.
point, and I was like, ow, Court of Owls.
So I remember I said this like weeks ago. I was like, I think they're setting up Court of Owls. But you know what made me? But you know what? But you know what made me go, oh, they're not. It was when they were asking Robert Pattinson who we'd like to see like in his future movies. He's like, oh, I'd love to go up against the Court of Owls. Like, I just don't think he would say that if they were actually going to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because
so
that's
what kind of
do
set me.
I think Martha is an Arkham.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah,
so that I like that twist.
An Arkham, which is what they do in the Telltale game, and you find out.
Oh, he's an Arkham.
She is. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't remember that.
pretty
Interesting. Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's what they said. I didn't know if it was.
Well, in the
Telltale
movie,
game,
yeah, but you're saying in the Arkham games too.
No, sorry, not the Arkham games. The Telltale game.
She is. I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, so like you find out that like Martha Wayne's kind of crazy at some point.
Well, she has some mental breaks, and
Right.
I like the whole.
and the Arkham, her family kind of covers shit up, and then now the Waynes are covering.
Well, they were
her
covering
up.
up the fact that she went. They didn't cover up any crimes. They just covered up the fact that she went to this insane asylum.
Right.
But then,
For her sake.
yeah, and I like the idea of Bruce thinking that his dad did this like for bad reasons. But that, I mean, I guess the scene that
not
really won me over for Alfred was that scene in the hospital where he was explaining to him. He's like just going down the thing of, yeah, well, no, it was probably Falcone. This is why. And I like how they left it open. He was he's like, so Falcone killed my parents. He's like, I don't know. I think so. It could have just been a fucking mugger on the street that pulled the trigger when he got scared.
that one.
I didn't.
I
yeah,
love
no.
that.
Well,
He's
they
like, I've been
revisit that
trying to
story.
figure
They
it out
revisit
for
that-
for years.
forever.
They
Yeah,
revisit that twice, right?
because
Because
I
Alfred
think
says
so.
it, and then he goes to Falcone, and then he says Maroni did it, and then
no, it's but he goes to Falcone first, and he says, because that's where he learns all this stuff about his dad from Falcone, and then then Falcone says Maroni was the one who did it, but then he goes to talk to Alfred in the hospital, and that's when Alfred goes, no, your father. This was his like last resort option, and Falcone did this, and he thinks that's
He had a
what
moment
caused
of
it.
weakness. He's a
Yeah.
normal man, just like Bruce Wayne is also sometimes.
He was trying to
normal
protect
man.
his mother.
Yup.
Yeah, he was
had
trying
a
to
moment
protect
of
his
weakness.
wife. Yeah.
That's all it was, and he went back on it. He was like, I can't do this. I'm a doctor. I'm supposed to uphold and help people. I'm gonna go to police. We'll never know. And I really like that too, man. I thought that was fun.
Also,
yeah, it does kind of put
kept
the
going in circles.
no, it
twist.
definitely does. I also liked how they, at least to me, seemed to imply that Alfred wasn't their butler and more their bodyguard. Because the way he
Yeah,
was like,
he
I was
SAS
supposed to
background.
protect them. I was
Yeah.
supposed to. I thought that was really good. I don't know. I really liked Andy. For the very little we got of him, I
and
really
the
liked
cane.
him.
I wonder how he got.
I don't know. I think again that kind
Crippled.
of just leans to the idea that he's seen combat and he's a bit beat up and
Right.
stuff like
He's
that.
an
I
ex-soldier.
liked him helping also solve the riddles and stuff like that. And also his Batman's like heads up displays and stuff like that
On the eyes
on the
thing?
eyes, but then also
Crazy.
just the way like
Very,
his computer screen
stylized.
looked super stylized. Very much remind me of like the kind of cartoon, more comic booky stuff, which I thoroughly appreciated. Even the equipment he sets up to monitor Selena when she goes back into the Iceberg Lounge, it just aesthetically. It's all really cool. I really think they did an amazing job.
So
on it.
going back to the Waynes, so I'm under the impression that the Waynes did not get murdered in Crime Alley after the movie.
Why is that?
They never really imply that he was there. There's no implication that
Alfred does. He goes, "You were so angry, you blamed yourself for it," and stuff like that. I felt like they were clearly implying that it just happened the way we think it did.
See, I like the way they made
Gooch is like, I don't know, I didn't see them get shot in the pros rep.
Right. The way they made it seem was like they were just murdered somewhere. Like,
Did you get that?
No, I just assumed.
Yeah, I don't feel
Crime
like they don't
Alley, but
need to
just-
tell us that it's in Crime Alley.
See,
That's
now
the
I'm-
only staple of Batman that stays the same.
Right.
You do know I just want to, like, with this and, like, the Spider-Man, you know you're in the minority on this, right? Like, I just want, like, that's fine. I don't want to disregard your opinion, but, like, I don't need...
Because I was curious. I was just like, well, like, where did the
But,
wings
like, why
die?
would you... But, like, I guess, like,
Why would I imply differently?
Yeah, why would you think it's different?
Because you're not being told.
But why... But that's the worst thing. Don't tell... Like, you don't... Why do you have to be told every time? Or else, like why can't you just assume...
I want to know.
But you know.
Do I?
Yeah. We did.
I feel like it always happens in Crime Alley, right?
I feel like the only reason that would give me the only thing that would make me think differently is if they specifically said that it didn't happen in Crime Alley. You know what I mean? My default understanding would be that he dies.
I get it. I just wanted to hear it.
Fair enough.
I need the movie said it. We're good.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you guys think you could solve that 60-second riddle that he was solving? The riddles in
Absolutely not.
No way.
No way.
I was trying in the theater. I was like, oh shit, riddles, let's go. I wanted riddles so bad.
Also a great scene too when he just emerges
DA.
from the darkness and like to the guy in the fucking another thing that you just got to be willing to upset. Batman would probably have been dead too from that bomb.
Gil Coulson is a comic book character.
Is he?
Yeah. He's a DA. Yeah.
Again, Matt Reeves, he seems to have a very real respect for this source material, and he translated it, I think, faithfully, but in a new and fresh way that we haven't at least seen on the movie screen. Of course.
And it's grounded, but it's not.
But there's
Nolan.
a bit of.
There's a difference between this and Nolan. Like there's clear, like, not that there's room for the magical and mystical, which is always great with Batman, because you know Batman taking, like, it's always like, I really think, like, sometimes people need to think about this. It's crazy that Batman does what he does, being just a person fighting against
that's
all this magic.
That's the whole point of him.
Like sometimes he, like, you kind of forget. But, like, Batman is just a person.
Yeah, he's just a dude.
So it is cool when he's put into these scenarios
That's the whole point.
where he is the lowest on the totem pole.
And that's why I think it's, like I said, we get to have our cake and eat it too here with a more kind of mythical, not mythical, but fantastical Batman over in the Flash greater DCEU. But we have a somewhat more grounded, but still more comic book grounded Batman in its own universe. Like, I would love to see what a Killer Croc in this universe looks like.
We talked about that last night.
I would love to see what, I mean, we'll see this, but what Joker is going to look like and stuff like that. I'm fine with waiting.
That was
on
one
it,
of my
but
one of my negatives.
You guys think that they're not bringing back a character that made billions of dollars?
Joker, the inclusion of Joker was not good to me.
Yeah,
not that it
why?
wasn't good. I just didn't want to see it.
We've seen so many Jokers. I just watched so many movies. Every Batman series is like, and then the Joker.
But yeah, you can't have Batman without the Joker.
Sure, but like we can wait.
Like, I don't think he needs to be the main villain of the next movie.
And who knows if we're gonna get another one?
I would love to see.
We haven't gotten another Joker, dude.
Wait, get another what? Batman
from Matt Reeves.
Well, yeah, but the Joker's a totally different story. Joaquin Phoenix does it. The only reason they're not doing that is because Joaquin Phoenix doesn't want to do it.
I'm not talking about that, but like we haven't gotten another Joker.
Oh, yeah. But that's the other thing. I feel like we've kind of had wasted things in the, like, besides Joaquin, like, Jared Leto's just no one cares about him. I think people are ready for a legitimate Batman to go up against an actual Joker again.
Sure, but like, I'm not sure if it's what Matt Reeves is trying to do with this.
I wanted to.
No, I think he's going to be more of an ancillary character. Like, I don't think he's going to be the next villain of the next movie.
I don't know if there's going to be a next movie.
But what are you talking about, Gooch? There is absolute. I would bet my left nut right now that we are going to get another. I can say that with an absolute fact beyond a reasonable doubt.
Do you really think they would do Joker next?
Oh no, I'm talking. What are you talking about? The Batman. Yeah, he's talking about the Batman.
The Batman too.
Another one.
He's saying like, who knows if it's gonna happen?
I would love to see another one.
I would be fine with just the one.
This one, I would love to see Batman Year 3.
I'm just sorry, but like
Batman.
The idea that they wouldn't, after Pattinson said he wants to do another one, Reeves said he's already penned out a trilogy. This is gonna make this is gonna make gangbusters. It made like 25 million in its like pre-sale stuff. We're getting another
so many
one.
fucking action
I guess I'm sorry. I don't mean to laugh.
Pattinson.
I guess I just feel like it's such a sure thing to say.
I like
that,
not betting on the idea that we're gonna get another one.
I hope we get.
I kind of want to.
Sure,
be
you can bet on
and,
that, but
like,
I would be very surprised.
I guess it'll probably culminate in Joker rather than Joker being in the second one because Chris Nolan already did that. I hope he does.
No, that's what I think. The idea was that like because I actually looked up a bunch of interviews with him on this. Like he talked to IGN about like Joker and all that stuff. We're kind of jumping towards the end here, but. we get a very small glimpse at him. He's like, this is like he talked about how this is
who plays him?
Yeah, Krogan, Billy Krogan, the guy. Druig, yeah.
Yeah.
Which again,
From
I think
Eternals.
is a great choice, and I agree with you guys. We've gotten a lot of Joker in the last 2 years.
don't
I
want
think if
another
we didn't
Joker
get Jared Leto's
Yeah,
Joker, I
then I'd be
think
fine.
I think people would be a little bit more like pumped.
Yeah.
But I guess I love what's been done so much in this first movie that I want to see what this version of the Joker looks like. But first off, I would like to see before him maybe a Killer Croc, maybe even like a
Clayface.
Clayface would be good, or
what's
even
the
like a
puppet
Mad
guy?
Hatter or something.
I want to see the puppet guy, the Scarface.
what's his
What
name?
was
Scarface,
yeah.
I want to see another fucking psycho, unwell person.
You want
who's
to
like-
see something you haven't seen.
Yeah.
And we
No,
haven't.
absolutely.
And the Riddler was a good first pick. We
Awesome pick.
I think he's great.
We haven't really
Great
seen
riddles.
Great
we-
riddles. Great riddles.
Jim Carrey. That's really all we have for the Riddler.
Yeah.
Like in
two riddles in his.
live action, and the one from Gotham. But again,
You know what I
can't
would
really
love
count
to
that one.
actually see in the next one? Joker's like a Hannibal Lecter type thing that Batman goes and talks to in prison to help him with something.
Oh,
Like he's got another. So he's behind bars. Batman's already interacted with him a few times before, and he's like, I need some advice from a real fucking crazy person.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
go
need
talk
somebody
to
from the
John Doe.
ground.
I'm gonna go
There
talk
we
to
go.
John Doe
I would love if
because
they
he isn't the
kept it-
Joker yet. That
if
Matt
they
Reeves
kept-
specifically said
If
that.
they kept it
Yeah.
at just John Doe, and they never made him the Joker.
Sure, I think after a while you've earned that right and you can. But I think at the beginning, absolutely, I,
I
think
didn't know
that's the
that
idea.
because in the beginning those dudes are painted like the Joker. They're painted
So,
like
yeah, that's
sort
what-
of Jokers.
They are, but they see it's
They're-
weird.
They are and they aren't.
No,
Yeah.
I know, but I get what you mean for sure.
Yeah,
They definitely seem to be
I
sort
got
of like that.
tone from them because
They definitely seem like the Joker gang for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't know. I totally, I agree with you guys actually to a degree. Absolutely.
Right, 'cause
we
I
don't
was
need
just
it.
like,
But I did
ah,
still.
like, we got-
I
we
guess
got-
I
we
really
got
like Billy
baited.
Krogan, and I like Matt Reeves so much and what he's done with all these characters that I'm willing to kind of be like, yeah, we just saw this guy, but to be honest, he made $1 billion. Why aren't we gonna put him
Yeah.
in this movie? Because I'm sorry, I think the major thing is most people are like Joker, like most of the general audience too.
Yeah.
I don't know though.
I thought that was a good idea though, the John Doe thing where
Yeah.
he's just talking to him behind the thing. I mean, you got to involve Penguin obviously. You don't have to involve Catwoman because she's, I guess, fleeing the city, doing her own thing.
So that's the other thing. I think they're gonna do a spinoff for her.
really
That's
good for
that's
her.
my guess.
Good for her.
No, I don't. There's no
They have
confirmation
a
of
lot-
any
they
time.
have announced a lot of like shit from that spin off this movie.
Well, so there's two things. So there's the Penguin series, which is I guess
What?
set
The
af-
Penguin series?
It's set after this and like his rise, I guess, to or
With Colin- with
Colin
Colin
Farrell.
Farrell?
Yeah, and
As
then
a
the
movie
other
or a show on
as a show on
HBO?
HBO Max.
Holy
And
shit.
then they're doing another show that's connected to Arkham Asylum too in some way.
I would love an Arkham Asylum show. That'd be
Yeah.
fucking awesome. That would be so sick.
Like you see all the and,
I would love
and
that.
Matt Reeves again. He was talking about like this is the origin of his villains, kind of.
Yeah.
Partly of Batman too, in certain ways and in certain aspects, and obviously you see him grow into this, like we said, this idea of he needs to give people hope as well as instill fear
Yeah.
in these criminals. But guys, I fucking loved this movie.
This movie was fucking awesome.
I really did. I'm
it's
trying
like-
to really.
I
wholeheartedly
was sitting, I was
agree.
like debating it. Do I like it over The Dark Knight? I'm like,
the last
yeah,
couple
in
days,
certain ways.
I
It's a
hard
think
comparison.
I think ultimately it's
a
hard.
really
It's
hard comparison. That's
It's
a
hard
top tier
comparison.
movie. That's a film.
because it almost innately sounds like you're putting The Dark Knight down, but that's not it. The
Right.
Dark Knight is so good, but I think we were really, at least me and Gooch for sure, we were much younger when that came out for sure.
I was just a boy
Uh,
too.
and for sure, yeah.
I
you
was
were
just a kid.
You were just a kid, yeah. You
I
were
was
just,
just a
a
boy,
lonely
man.
little child.
I was just a little
I was
boy.
you're 4 years older than us.
yeah,
2 years.
yeah,
Yeah. So
with my big lollipop and my spin hat.
but like I remember watching The Dark Knight and
yeah.
being like, this is cool. And now as an adult, of course, I can watch it and see that this is the most like an amazing film.
Fucking
but
dope.
like being able to be in the moment of watching this and like just seeing this cast and these characters come together in a way that's so different and new, I love it. I really do. God. And I love Pattinson's voice too.
I
by the way,
You mean the
Batman
lack
voice. thereof
any voice? He's
What do you
just-
mean?
It's pretty normal.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, you definitely notice it between his Bruce and his Batman for sure.
See, I wouldn't say that.
He doesn't-
Really? Because I felt like
It's
when he
not-
was talking, when he was trying to call Alfred, like I felt like you could like that was one of the times where you could definitely feel like the emotion and the difference in his voice. And I felt like when he was at the funerals and stuff, he definitely talked with more of like, but like when he's down like this, it's more low. It's not your Christian Bale.
It's
Which I really would genuinely love to ask.
It's a symbol.
Where are the drugs? Where are they going? I really would love to talk to him.
I'm trying to think of
Just
that
be like, what
monologue
was
from the
thought?
beginning. Is like or from Batman Begins, and he's like, and like the water's dripping on his face, and then he's like, something to fear.
I swear to me. Yeah, guys, go fucking see the Batman.
There were a few things, two more. Like
Yes,
I
yeah,
think
I'm
two
trying.
more
I
things.
don't want to miss anything.
We didn't mention Selena's backstory.
Oh yes. So
Her being the kid of Falcone.
the daughter of Falcone.
Is that a regular thing? I
So
never heard that
in
before. Is
the
that
Long
a thing?
Halloween, I didn't realize that
Yeah, it's
that's
Long
like
Halloween.
she's. So does that confirm it in that book though?
Yes.
Okay, because I know that I watched Comic Tropes. He did a thing on the Long Halloween, like
And they
a couple
do it
years
in the
back.
movie.
Yeah, so
The
I
animated movie.
didn't realize that. Yeah, that is a comic book thing.
Yes.
But again,
Wild.
that I was telling him I was glad I didn't read the Long Halloween because
Yeah.
there was actually some twists in here
Yeah.
that I didn't see coming at all.
And what's cool? So I guess this movie is probably like a few weeks, 2 weeks maybe, at least.
It felt like a couple, like a week. To me,
You think?
That's what it felt like to me. Like the
timeline-wise?
time in the
I
within the
think
movie.
We
it's
go
just
from
it's been
October
a week.
31st to obviously not.
Well, because
probably
they
not
mentioned
Thanksgiving.
Halloween night on the first night.
Right, that's the.
And then he says
yeah.
later in the movie, like closer to the end, at least I feel like that was a couple days ago or
Wait,
something
he
like
said
that.
5 days.
Yeah, something like
building
that. So
up
I
for
think
his
it all
father.
happened within a week.
Oh, okay.
I think
didn't
so.
hear that last date.
Yeah.
There was something else I wanted to bring up.
Was it the streaming? How? Because I remember last night you mentioned
Oh,
the streaming of the Riddler.
I hated
the
that.
Riddler was a streamer. Was like
It was too stereotypical.
Hi,
People
guys.
What do you
like
mean
to
by
do
it?
that.
The I
He's got
thought
a
the idea,
following online
but like
and
I
he's
didn't think
streaming
that.
to
See, that
people.
didn't read like streamer to me. That just read like psychopaths
Oh,
going on
right,
like.
but like he's like.
But he's using like a streaming platform. I guess I don't know. That worked for me because it's the present day. That's what you would do.
It works, but it's like it's an overdone trope where like crazy people go online and they gather their followers. I'm like,
But
I
I
almost
mean-
didn't want to see it, and if they would have just showed me, I would have bought it.
But I think back in
Because
the
they
day,
said a few times that he had followers.
you're right.
Yeah.
But I think back in the day when they did this in the Dark Knight, that would just show up on the TV. Like he would just he would take over the airwaves. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh,
Whereas
yeah,
like
yeah.
now I think it does make sense. He's like, I'm Instagram live. Like I can literally
Hey,
stream to
guys,
millions of
it's
people.
me. Hi,
guys.
No, but so
It's
you're talking about.
Anthony
I thought you were
Riddler.
talking about like when he uses like he streams him like blowing off
No,
the guy's
no,
head.
no.
Oh,
At
see,
the
that-
end
too.
where he's
Yeah.
talking to his followers specifically.
Oh, I don't know. I guess that works for me. That didn't really bug me.
there were so many little clues I didn't pick up on, like the comments. They showed the comments, and you could clearly read the comments.
I was
and
reading
it was a
them.
winter. I was reading them too, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh,
It was all
shit,
talking
they're
about where to get the stuff.
Yeah,
and I
no
like
clue.
that whole. I like that Batman didn't solve the entire crime like he does in Long Halloween.
And his modus operandi kind of comes around where so I found out it's the guy from the funeral that says something new on the side that says
I didn't know that either.
I'm vengeance. That's who that was.
yeah.
And I was like, oh, is that a guy from like the first scene? No,
Yeah.
it's the guy from
yeah,
the
it's
funeral.
the guy from the funeral standing there. Yeah.
talking shit on the rich people," and then he's like, "Oh, you're
Oh,
fucking
it's
Bruce
fucking
Wayne,
Bruce
the
Wayne,
richest
the worst,
guy
the
in
one like the guy that we
world."
hate the most.
Yeah,
Yeah. God. Paul Dano was really good.
He was
just in
great.
every scene, and like getting back to that, the one of him interrogating him, but just that meltdown of him going, "No, no, no, no!
Yeah.
This is how like he deserves an Oscar."
No!
Yeah, I like that.
Like
was-
really long,
Yeah.
like, dude.
I thought it was so good, and again, it just conveyed his psychopathy.
We didn't really
almost.
talk about the fight scenes too much, but
Oh, yeah.
I loved the iceberg lounge in the club within a club.
Yeah.
Dude.
Loved that.
That was so good. The car chase scene.
Oh,
dude,
hype,
Oh, yeah, thank
that was
God,
fucking
yeah.
Fast and
In our
Furious. hype.
IMAX theater, when that car was revving up and looking, the whole theater.
Yeah, shook.
Fucking
I was like,
awesome.
dude.
Let's actually
We didn't talk about
the Batmobile. I love
great.
It's amazing. I think
Yeah,
it's an actual car again.
It's cool.
I love every Batman should have a different Batmobile. I don't want every movie to be like, well, this is how the Batmobile was in
and
1984.
all of them
or
really
something.
have.
Yeah,
No, they really,
I
literally every
like
single
this
one is at except the Dark Knight trilogy. I still don't love the Tumbler that much, but like
Oh, his
yeah,
giant tank.
his tank of
Yeah.
his.
I mean, like, dude, in BVS, it's a tank too.
Yeah.
no, but
it's-
like it
it's
looks more of like a
vehicle.
car. You know what I mean? Yeah, like it looks like
not
something
like
you-
a futurized tank,
not
which
just
is
a
what
box
it
on
is.
wheels.
This
Yeah,
looked like,
you know what I mean.
like a fucking Camaro just with nitrous.
literally
on the
looked like a
back of
muscle
it.
car. Yeah,
it looked
that-
like a muscle car. That he
Again, gets
restored.
back to that like garage head almost idea of who Bruce Wayne is, and they even kind of talked about this Matt Reeves before that he's kind of this. he's he is the lone rocker, like the guy. I feel like such an idiot. Who's the lead singer of Nirvana?
Kurt Cobain.
Like he was comparing him to a lot, the idea of like how he was really
they have
sinking down, and even with the Nirvana playing in it and stuff like that. I thought that was real, like the secluded rock star. That was it. That was the idea. So I thought, again, that was a really cool idea. And me and Gian were talking. I don't like this. People are getting upset that there isn't this dichotomy of Bruce Wayne between.
I mean, it just hasn't been.
It hasn't been built yet. It hasn't established. And I feel like it was obviously a very much intended idea here that he hasn't separated those two things yet. So I don't know. I don't necessarily think that's a fair criticism, but hey.
I
feel
agree.
what you feel like.
You're right, Trio.
It's an uninformed. It's an uninformed.
Well, it was just. Well, it was funny because I was telling him I watched Jeremy Johns, and I was listening to his, and he just was really surprised. Like I rarely disagree with him. I found, but like he was talking about like how he just didn't feel like this was Bruce Wayne, and
it's like of course.
Yeah. Well, he didn't feel like this was like Batman. I'm like, but like it does. Like at all, but I'm like, of course, it doesn't feel like the Batman we know yet, but it feels like the Batman we're getting to that Batman, absolutely, and I feel like he feels like enough of that Batman to be considered Batman at this point, but still, I don't know.
I read a lot of that consensus online where it was like, well, Pattinson's not, and they always do this with every fucking actor.
I know.
You could choose any actor. He could be the burliest actor in the world. They're going to give him so much shit. I thought Pattinson was so good, and like, I don't know what the beef was, if they were just like jealous because their wives are DJing themselves to fucking Robert Pattinson.
I mean, yeah, for fuck's sake.
Fucking bullshit.
DJing themselves, I'm using that, just saying.
Catching your kid, cranking down to fucking Pattinson in Twilight 2. Just get over it. I thought he was so good. It's been so many years. He was a great young Batman. This was our first young Bat.
And I was watching interviews with him.
Which is crazy.
No,
We've never gotten
like a pretty young Batman.
I was saying this yesterday. I've said that like 1,000 times.
How old was Bale?
Had to be.
Continue. I'm sorry, Gucci. I didn't mean to interrupt.
We've never gotten a Batman that is just starting out, and you can really feel it in every.
That's not true.
In Batman Begins, it doesn't feel.
But that's what he. But he
is. But like there's some master behind.
But I think you're right,
Batman.
and I think that's because of the League of Shadows.
Right.
And that whole idea of that he genuinely
Yeah.
that's where he learned everything.
Right.
Whereas you don't see that in this
Bruce
movie.
Wayne is still like we've said it like a million times. We've given like many backups to the point like he doesn't know, and it's interesting, and like that's what I want to see, and that's why I enjoyed BVS and Batfleck's approach, because it's like we've never seen a 20 years vet Batman who knows everything and how to do this.
Flying in, just slamming dudes' heads into crates. There's zero question. He knows exactly what to do because he's been in this situation a billion times.
And even him fighting, like you can tell, like he's
a bit clunky.
He's taking hits. Like he's not.
I love that.
He's not on top of his game yet. Like,
his introduction is great. I mean, it was in the trailer, but when he breaks the guy's arm and just fucking wails on him.
Starts railing.
Yeah, it's so good.
And another thing, he relied on an adrenaline shot.
Oh,
that
awesome.
was a really cool shot.
And then, like, imagine you're Batman. It's like, okay, like if I'm
last resort,
right. And like, I don't think a 20-year vet Batman would ever do that because he's always ready to go. Because he's mastered that like rage.
So Christian Bale would have probably Batman Begins came out in 2005, so it was probably filmed in like 2004 or 2003ish, and he was born in 74, so he was probably. About 30 when that was made.
Is that how old
Pattinson's
the
like 30
Batman would be? Batman.
So Pattinson right now is.
But Pattinson also looks
older.
No, he reads younger for some reason. I completely agree.
Yeah.
So he was born in '86.
Even in American Psycho, he doesn't read.
He must have been young in American Psycho.
He's in his 20s. Yeah.
Wow.
So actually, Pattinson's the same age as Bale was.
Oh wow.
When he did his
like you said, different read.
No, it does. He does. And he does read younger, for sure.
Oh, and no Batarangs. Not a single Batarang. The
Whoa.
most famous Batarang.
I guess, that was... Did he ever actually use it as a Batarang, though?
No.
But again, he's a younger Batman. He doesn't have all his tools crafted out.
He doesn't have his...
The stun thing on his glove is not a thing we ever see.
Definitely not. Yeah, it's not interesting. Yeah.
It was a taser in his hand. That's all he had.
I loved it.
And I love the hidden gun grapple.
The grapple gun.
Where it literally like swings out like an old school hidden gun.
Like it looks like
it.
Dude.
Yeah, I really like that because it seemed like... Yeah, like he just like he doesn't just take it off his belt, like he has it hidden because he has other shit on.
And it looks like he almost like locks it in from his belt, and then it flips back up as he
and we
like.
didn't mention the flight suit, the literal squirrel.
Yeah.
So I meant to talk about that.
Makes total sense.
I thought that was a good moment
and
to make.
And he fucks the landing up.
That part where it was like I felt like
shit.
that was very much on purpose to remind you this is a dude.
This is
a guy.
He's new.
He's just doing his
You-
thing.
You can
2
tell,
years
like,
in,
from
yes.
the before he
He's
even
not
jumped, he's
seasoned
like, "Oh fuck."
Yeah, he's like,
and he's flying,
never done.
and he's like, "Oh fuck, oh fuck," and he fucks up, and he like really,
He
gets
really
hit.
hurts
and he's
himself.
just like,
Again, a moment where it probably should have been dead, but I'll let it. I'll let it.
turns
Yeah.
and I go,
crushed his
and I was
ribs.
like, Batman looks really weird without a cape.
No, and I did love how he kind of got up like, oh fuck, like it wasn't like overdone, but he was just like, oh,
I'm hobbling
yeah,
away.
like I gotta
Yeah.
get out of here. No, I thought that was really good. I thought that whole scene, every interaction he had with the cops, I felt like was great, and how it kind of progressively throughout the movie they all kind of got more comfortable with him. Like that guy in the when he finds him,
Martinez.
when he finds him in the end, he's like, dude, what the.
Yeah.
Hey man, what's going on? But in the beginning, like, what the
I
fuck
like
is
that-
this
I
guy
like the
doing
one
here?
He's my favorite
who's-
cop.
Who almost sounded like the Godfather. He was like, I don't know.
What are you doing here? Like, I felt like there
he
was.
was like
yeah,
high, but like kind of low.
Was it the commissioner or the guy who gets killed second?
No, not the guy who gets killed second. The other guy. Remember when they
yeah,
faked the fight?
yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. Yeah,
yeah,
he has a
something like
mustache.
this.
He's like, "Oh, you talking to me, Batman?
Batman.
You better."
What did you say to me?
You got no idea, pal.
Punch the
You
fuck
got
out of
no
Jim
fucking
Gordon.
idea.
That
Jim,
would
get
have
the
broken my jaw. Could you
I
guys
like
take
the
that
scene when he
punch?
was like, dude, you could have pulled the punch, man. And he's like, I did.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
shit.
so good, guys.
Holy shit.
Are we missing anything? I don't want to miss anything.
Oh,
No,
man.
I don't think so. We
talked about all the characters, right?
When we went back to hit some of my things, we hit some other things, and I think we got to everything. We talked about the fighting. I'm trying to think. We
Did we
talked
hit
about the
everything
iceberg.
on
The
Riddler?
twins was kind of funny.
Oh,
the
dude,
twin brothers
that
in
was
the field.
those were great.
I think that's a thing.
Is it
I
in the
feel like I've
comics?
seen in the comics like twin bodyguards.
No, I
like,
did love how they were just getting the shit kicked out of them the whole time. They poor
and,
guys.
and I like kind of liked. We talked about the Riddler's goons before, but I liked how they kind of like the progression of them trio with that thing.
I know.
Don't touch it. With the progression of his goons, like made a lot of sense. To
No,
me.
absolutely. And
Yeah,
again,
and, like,
I,
I'm like, oh, they look exactly like Riddler. Like it's not goofy. It makes
again, that's
sense.
why I kind of accepted that kind of follower streaming thing by the end. Like, I didn't take that as an idea that he was like, I guess he literally is. He's talking videos to them,
Yeah.
but I felt like the idea was he was just cultivating his like crazy following of 500 people that like just
And they
think the same way.
weren't there to cause panic. They were there to
Kill people. No,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
Again, by the way, I just want to say, if there's not a huge stink about this like there was for the Joker, maybe we got a bit of bullshit going. Like when Joker came out, there was this huge stink of like this will cause violence, this, that, and the other.
yeah.
People will be inspired to be like the Joker.
This
I
was-
remember that.
Where's
Zodiac
everyone talking about
killer.
how this is gonna inspire people to be the Zodiac killer?
This was
no.
in
Jail cell.
Oh no!
loved the amount of riddles.
And he didn't get his pumpkin pie.
Didn't get his pumpkin pie. Did leave a question mark in his
That's kind of-
cappuccino, though. I was very happy with that. I was
I
like,
love how he's like, I need to get into the cafe just to do this.
Yes.
Just before everyone catches
Batman's
me.
gonna love this because that's my situation.
Guys, guess
yeah.
what? I can sanction the Riddler's buffoonery in this.
You should. You gotta put that in your bio.
It's in my bio. I put it there. Just said
I was
that.
like, he said it like it's. I forget.
We were
what,
talking about like the Ukraine stuff, and I was like, I cannot sanction Russia's buffoonery.
I was like, you need like you've been saying that a lot. I was like, it needs.
It's definitely been in my mind since the fucking rewind.
Because I know like Fat Man in a Little Coat was in it for a
Yeah,
while.
well, that is still in there.
I was
think.
like, no, like
Yeah.
take that out. The buffoonery thing.
Oh, God.
I think that's it, trio.
Awesome, guys.
Unless Gian has
I got
anything to say.
nothing, man. I think you've covered it all.
It was really a good
Yeah.
time. The movie's great. Thank you all so much for watching with us live on twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network. We very much appreciate you. You can find this podcast, everywhere podcasts are found. Just search Delco Nerd Network. If you can pop us a review, that's always helpful. Spotify's doing that now. Like I always say, if it's a 1-star, no thank you. But you can, review us. If it's a genuine critique, I'll take it. I don't care. But you can find all this information on our website, delconerdnetwork.com. We have a Discord channel. We have an email, delconerds@gmail.com, where you can email us all your comments, questions, or concerns. For Gooch, for Gian, I've been Trio. Thanks for watching. Stay nerdy, guys. We will see you next time.